Hello there, Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising. This is January 2026, and this is your horoscope. And we're going to be breaking down some major changes that are going to be opening up as major planetary resets happen in a house that you associate with profitability in your career, as well as long range goals and dreams and social friends and circles. As well, we're going to see some energy really picking up, some shift of positive energies of luck regarding moving, traveling, neighborhoods, and you being in the driver's seat, you really aligning with what it is you wish to create in this month of January. Let's get started. Let's break it down week by week and help you time your best month of January 2026. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Lori Lothian. I am a Western Tropical Zodiac astrologer. I use a whole sign house system. That's because it works. And of course, you'll always see a lot of those fixed stars and minor asteroids on my channel when you're a regular subscriber. And they're lots of fun because they are a lot of fun. However, today we're also going to remind you very briefly before I do the whole 30 minutes together that I have my 2025 All Signs bundle currently for sale. Each video is more than 2 hours long. You can listen for sun, moon, and rising sign. I'll explain that later. And you can also get individual videos, $22 for your individual sign, or the bundle, share with friends and family, digital stocking stuffer for Christmas, why not? Or after Christmas, the new year. Don't forget, this is my yearly fundraiser. It helps me buy equipment for my channel, hire staff, and even create a scholarship fund for people who can't afford to study astrology with me. Let's move into the sky. Let's talk about this year ahead. Let's month ahead. Let's get going. And if you like this kind of detailed all signs content, please consider subscribing. It does really matter more than you can imagine. That little button for like and subscribe is like the all powerful buttons of the sky. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at your chart. This is you. This is a Pisces glyph here. And this is what it looks like to have a Pisces ascendant. Sun ascendant avatar simulation character. It's who you play in the simulation. The sun is your career and purpose, and it's the deepest essence of who you are. It's more like the actor. And then the ascendant is your actual, role that, you're playing. It's your mask. But it's funny. And it really matters. So hear me out. When we play with the sun, we pretend the sun is in the first house in Pisces. That's how we derive the houses. And we also pretend the moon for your moon sign is here in Pisces. The moon, your moon sign in Pisces in the first house, as if it is. Your moon is how you feel and think about your life. It's how you connect to things of safety, nest, and home. So often like an eclipse to your moon can eclipse where you live. So some simple ways to understand the 3 different ways to listen. Today, we will start with the beginning of the month with confusion. I'd say that New Year's December 30th, 31st, and January 1st, Mercury is applying to Neptune, and that means uncertainty or confusion. It starts off feeling like hard or difficult communications connected to career, purpose, reputation, or authority figures like father figures, and you being confused or uncertain, or you confusing another person with whom you are communicating in a public sphere or in a work or career-related matter. And whatever this communication gap is about, I would also say that it will be short-lived and the dust will clear. In fact, there's going to be a point at whatever is confusing you here. By the 3rd week of January, you're going to have clarity. And I'll be more specific as we break down the whole week ahead. I would say that it's not a good time to accept a job offer because there's too many details that you're not seeing and you're lacking the clarity that you need at this time. So you might want to really think about waiting a bit until later in January before you say yes or sign on any dotted line. The fine print isn't even visible, Now, as we get going into the next part of the story, we notice that you're building up a stellium of energy. That means a lot of planets are hanging out in one place, and that is your 11th house. When Mercury's in your 11th house, which is a powerful, positive place to be, it's about socializing, communicating, making, it's communication. Sometimes like you're in front of a bunch of people talking, like the front of the boardroom, or maybe it's because you are connecting more socially with groups of people. And it's going to be very social energy when Mercury's up here. And that's January 1st to January 20th. You might be January 1st, 2nd to January 20th, just engaging a lot more fun, hanging with people, doing social activities, hanging with friends, also even with colleagues, if that's something you want to do, socialize with colleagues. Alrighty. So there's a lot of mercurial energy there for you for the first 3 weeks of January. And also there's the energy of all the other planets. And that's where it gets very important. Venus is up here December 24th to January 16th. And this makes for a real positive experience with career profitability for those of you who are employed, where the career profits are consolidating. Now, she is invisible, so it may not be you see the greatest rewards from this new up level on profitable career until February, when she becomes visible again in mid-February. But the seeds are being planted for more career profitability. Now, she's invisible, so secret love relationships with colleagues, coworkers, friends with benefits, secrets like that. Like it's like Venus is love in the house of groups of friendship or colleague relationships. And there's something about everything's hidden under the sun's beam. So that's just an interesting story. Venus is going to reset with Mars. Mars in Capricorn, his exaltation sign. Here's December 15th to January 22nd. It's powerful for you as well. It's really good for ambitious, determined drive to succeed in implementing your dreams and goals, or in creating more earnings in your life, or becoming passionately advocating for some kind of movement that you believe in. But on the other hand, don't forget, he's already been here since December 15th, doesn't leave till the 23rd of January. But more importantly, both Venus and Mars are going to reset buttons here. They're going to actually completely renovate your 11th house. And it's going to take a Venus 4 years to fulfill the renovation, but she'll do it shorter. She'll do it before October, like to be a kind of like a getting the scaffolding up of what's changing here. And then Mars will also completely demolish and renovate your 11th house in a very powerful way that's very rare. And we're going to bring that to your attention in chronological order. So Venus is the first on the game, and she conjuncts the sun on January 6th. But just before that happens, I almost forgot, we have a full moon here. You can see the full moon opposite sun, conjunct Jupiter. It's one of the best full moons of January of 2020, the whole year of 2026, one of the best full moons. It takes something you did in June or July, you planted a seed 6 months earlier. Now it's fulfilling, and it's in the house of love, sex, and romance. Certainly, Jupiter is known to bring love and romance and sexuality to you when he's here, or fertility, like children, or you're pregnant, or your kids are having babies, or you're pregnant with and fertile with creative projects, or with entrepreneurial business ideas, or expression of your entrepreneurial instincts, and you're like making baby businesses or something. But the moon is fulfillment, and it's also fertility. So this is like, okay, if you're not going to have babies, your kids are having babies, right? And in this case, it particularly impacts your older child, your firstborn child, more particularly. One other thing about this is that because Jupiter's retrograde and he's about good and abundant and all of that, this is a winning house, like winning money. And it's possible that you might win money, like you could come into some financial winning here, but it's connected to matters connected to your past when he's retrograde. So I'm not sure how to say that. I don't know, a lottery ticket you forgot about under the sofa. I don't know. On the other hand, if romantic love wants to come to you, and it could during this time, in the month of January, and all the way through to July when Jupiter's here. If romantic love is coming to you before March 11th, it's connected to people you've been romantically involved with in the past. So you might rejuvenate an older romance as well. And this full moon fulfillment could be the seed for that over the course of 2 to 3 weeks. It follows the January 3rd lunation. And look for up to 6 months later for the fullness of it to complete. Now, if you look at the Venus conjunction to the sun called a cazimi, it's a powerful lucky day. So you might want to use January the 6th, that's when it's exact, at 16 degrees of Capricorn. And that means that you can do something like, this is the house of windfalls, lotteries with Jupiter. Buy a lottery ticket on January the 6th, which is a Tuesday. Or maybe you're going to purchase a ticket and you win. And this has a lot of winning in it, okay? But you can use the conjunction to do something auspicious. You can phone a friend. You can have an important conversation with a sibling one older than you. You can translate Venus's reset luck here into matters to do. Well, you could, with Venus Sun, translate it to matters to do with booking a trip, taking a trip, traveling somewhere. She rules your third house. Engaging in a social media storyline, launching a website. You might also use it for eighth house, chunky money. planting a seed here on that day by getting an investment, like putting money into a stock, or maybe having some kind of chunky money good thing happen to you. Again, you could win some money off of this. Honestly, you could place a bet then. All right, buy a lottery ticket, take your chance. But the other thing I want to mention is that Venus's reset here is happening as a part of a broader synodic cycle that began, way back, but, I don't remember how many 50 years ago, but if you go back to 2010, 2014, 2018, 2022, 2026, around the same time of year, late December, early January, she's reset your 11th house of good spirit. So when she does this, she wants to clear the slate and start over again. And she's like pregnant with something new. So 9.5, 10 months later, by the time you get to the end of October, for sure, you will see a generative energy of something fresh. What happened in 2022? Did you wholesale change your social groups and friendship circles? Did you begin a new relationship because you were traveling? Or did you travel and a new relationship began? Because these are themes that she can engender here. Did you come into some chunky money? Remember, go back 2010, 14, 18. Did you come into some inheritance money because it activates the inheritance house? And these kinds of themes return again and again to replay. Normally, like if I say go back to January of 2018, right, and see what this, say, chunky money story is, it's possible that the seeds of that money were available to you, or you could recognize that they should be coming to you or something. Maybe, by the end of 2019, for example. So you want to compare notes. You want to make some shifts to see what happened back then. Technically, it runs through a whole 4-year period till her next solar conjunction. When we move into the Jupiter story, the Mars story, Mars is going to follow suit, and he will do something as well. First of all, on January the 8th, Mars and Venus will have a synodic conjunction, and I'm going to be doing a whole video on that. It's too much to cover here, but you can say sexy time, fun, divine masculine, feminine, actions and desires are met in a unifying moment on January the 8th. This could indicate sexy time with colleagues or friends, kind of romantic things want to build up here around January the 8th. Add a year, add 10 months because Venus's cycle is involved. So add a year. So within a year of January 8th, you might end up in a relationship with, and this is kind of rare. This whole combination here is like 35 years rare. You might end up in a relationship with somebody. Okay. That wouldn't surprise me at all. And the other thing about that, but it would be somebody from a colleague or friendship circle groups, or it could be even someone you just considered a friend. And it could become romantic here. So friends with benefits, romantic love, I don't know, a lot of stuff going on. But it's also a reset of your long-range goals, plans, and dreams for your life in alignment with what Venus wants to bring you that's going to be enjoyable and pleasurable, and also Mars actions and decisions. And so you'll have to see how this plays out over a year. You're going to be taking actions and decisions to bring things into alignment. And if you're a writer, a communicator, marketer, seller, it activates your 3rd house, which is going to bring changes there as well. Or a change of neighborhood and a change of social group within the 9 to 10 months that follows this conjunction. As well, we are going to notice that as time progresses and we move into the 9th, that we see at 19 degrees of Capricorn, Mars and the Sun. Now, this is much rarer, and this is very important. Mars will be connecting here with the Sun to do a 4-year reset button, right? 4 years, guys. So, 2 years, 2-year reset button, 2 years. So you'll notice within 2 years of January 9th, 2026, that you have massively transformed and deathed and died and reborn again in your 11th house, a complete change of career. Why career? Because you make the gains of your career. So how you create money from your career, how you get profitably gainful from your career, that's going to change dramatically. Massive change maybe in your goals, your visions, and your dreams for your life. Like, what are you aiming for in life? What do you wish to accomplish in life? And you'll see some major resets there. You might also notice major changes in a relationship to a sibling, one older than you, or major changes in a relationship to a friend or friendship group, as in you'll have a wholesale different social crew at the end of this 2 years, are another examples. When Venus reset here already, she wants you to be more profitable in your career path. Now Mars is saying actions, decisions, and changes to make it so. Be patient, and it takes up to 2 years, and you won't be knowing the whole extent of this reset button until 2028 January. but it'll happen. Mars is also the ruler of your ninth house, the distant forests, shores, and far off lands. You might get job opportunities or profitability opportunities connected to distant lands, foreign shores, academics, universities, or colleges, or find yourself trying to lean more into purpose as the 2 years follow this reset. You'll notice as well that you could find that Mars could translate this to profitability directly, as Mars rules the house of your pocketbook earnings and savings as a general financial wellness. And maybe a big reset button here, because with Jupiter witnessing it all from the house of good fortune, this could be very good for you in terms of increasing your financial success connected to work and career, right? Or foreign lands, foreign shores. Both of those are true, perhaps. You could also find that this is an energy, because Mars is here with Mercury, where you can expect some news or information to come through pretty close to January the 9th. Pay attention a day or two before and after. That will be a seed of our foundation for major life decisions that will unfold over the couple of years that follow. With this energy of Mars resetting here, a new button, a new direction, something is changing. Be patient. Mars is not visible until March 17th. So even though shifts are happening, you won't see full evidence for it until Mars rises in your sign to the visible sky. And you are having a wholesale change of identity. It to such an extent that you haven't seen yourself change like that since 2011 to 2013. And before that, 1979 to 1981. So we'll get to that in a separate video as March approaches. Like and subscribe, please. If I think about this in terms of the reset button of Mars in your 11th house, you want to go back to 1994 and 1995. The whole 2 calendar years were emblematic of the kind of changes trying to happen here. And I described 11th house meanings. I'm not going to do it again. Career gains and social groups and long-range goals and plans. You had the same deep dive of a reset in 1979 and 1980, all of those calendar years. Think of change of social networks, groups, goals, dreams, plans for your life, changes of profitability or gains directly related to purpose and career. Okay, so those are shifting again like they may have back in the day. And of course, there'll be changes in collateral areas of your life thanks to Mars. But the epicenter is 11th house. Hang on. A tickle in my throat. Now it's gone. Oh my God. Sorry, guys. I'm getting over something slowly. I know other people who really had it bad and were coughing so much longer than me, but yeah. We can continue to talk about the sky, but it really is those, between the 1st of January and the 14th of January that most of the action is what I've described. Those first 2 weeks are about these cosmic reset buttons in your 11th house. And so then that's it. Because on the 14th of the month, we move into the next storyline, which lasts till about the 22nd or 23rd. And that is this beautiful luck triangle begins to form. Now, a luck triangle like this can bring you very positive and opportune things that are connected to ease and flow and grace, connected to the following areas of your life. And of course, this is not your chart because I lost the horizon line in the essential time. I apologize. Let's get you back. We'll have to use minutes, I think, to do it. Give me a minute. Okay. So this triangle is going to make changes in the following areas of your life that are fortunate. It's going to be prevailing for almost 2 weeks, but we'll say you'll start to feel it on the 13th, maybe all the way through to about the 23rd, 10 days. And it's what a cool triangle, because you are at the epicenter of it. You're at the peak point. Especially you at Pisces, sun, moon, and rising near 26, 27, 28 degrees of Pisces. But all of you still feel it. You are going to be making a kind of sturdy, solid, sober-minded, realistic decision-making power, right? You got the power. And you are holding your own backbone here. And you are also looking at the long-range visions that you have and what dreams you have for your life. And all of a sudden you have this. This is like, okay, unexpected, surprising, and shocking things going on. Unexpected at the very least. There is a wealth star here connected to siblings, neighbors, neighborhood, aunts, uncles, cousins, nieces, and nephews, local environment, your daily life that you live in, and your social media landscape that are going to fly and travel. That's going to fly up to your 11th house of friends, colleagues, workers, elder sibling, one above you. And kaboom, there's an excitement here. There's excitement. You seem to be like the maestro, telling everybody how to flow. Like you seem to be holding it together here. Certainly, this little triangle starts off with Venus, the goddess of romantic love and money. And so you could be an unexpected bolt of windfall, good fortune here. That's what that could look like. Jupiter doubles down on it. Uranus says it may be a good fortune moment coming through a romantic situation, a child, through a travel opportunity, through a local lottery ticket at a vendor in your local neighborhood at the 7-Eleven. Kaboom. If you feel the love, you feel the luck. It's coming in hot on January the 14th, 15th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th. Yes, it's another good time to play a lottery ticket. Venus is here, and she can translate this lucky energy as well to positive chunks of money coming your way that you don't earn, or unexpected, exciting breakthroughs in social media, going viral, having a hit, getting a little bit of celebrity, micro celebrity, a little moment of fame, or you might be getting an unexpected travel opportunity connected to romantic love, just coming out of the blue like a lightning bolt. As the days go on, and we shall make them go on, Venus goes into a wealth yoga in your 12th house. The 12th house is kind of a funny place for a wealth yoga. The only way it looks like wealth is if you get money from a foreign land or distant shore from your natal land that you're in, and therefore, or that you're connected to. So therefore, money from distant lands and shores, like a treasure chest, might come to you towards January the 17th. And then the other thing about Venus moving into your 12th house, it brings you a lot of pleasure in solitude and a lot of pleasure in travel, as if it's to far off lands and distant places. And she'll be here January 17th to February 10th. So it's a good time for travel. It's a good time for pleasure and solitude. It's a good time for spas and spiritual retreats. It's a good time for cleaning up your health by foregoing pleasures that are ungood for you, not good for you, whatever those pleasures are. She'll help you modify. This is a place of bed pleasures. And sometimes it just literally means you're going to have some really transformative and powerful romantic moments in the bedroom with somebody. Okay. And she'll be offering that up as a possibility, those bed pleasures, January 17th to February 10th. Okay. The wealth yoga is happening sooner. So pop the champagne if you win money. You'll be feeling the wealth yoga January 17th, 18th, and 19th. Well, let's talk about the sun. The sun is going to open up this beautiful triangle after Venus already started it, and may translate it maybe to the 6th house. You could have some luck with an unexpected opportunity, a professional career advancement. You might also have some good news about your health, or you might have some good opportunities for a rental property with Mercury here, as well as the sun. It looks like a rental property opportunity may be emerging in a fortunate, exciting, unexpected, and lucky way. And when around January the 17th until January the 20th. On January the 20th, the sun has moved into, with Mercury, your 12th house. But just before that, on January 20th, take a look at this Mercury. Mercury and Mars are hanging out on January the 18th and 19th and 20th. And this could be information or news coming your way that requires you to make a decision or action. And it's going to be about, again, travel or career or friendships or long-range goals and visions, and maybe connect you to things to do with your own decision-making, serious, realistic temperament at this time, to do things in a gradual but serious and realistic way. But I can see some major decisions being made here, or something going on in the life of a colleague or a sibling, and it's suddenly impacting you, and you might have to suddenly travel. Mercury rules the house of the sibling 3 older than you or 3 younger than you. And those siblings might be activated, and you might have to suddenly travel because of that situation. or because of a friend and an offer from a friend. And then you're going to make a decision to travel because a friend says, come visit me. And you say, okay, I'll do that. Again, we're seeing that power of decision action being very active on the 18th. On the 18th, there's a new moon, a new beginning, and a fresh start. You're going to reset your button for 6 months here, but you'll notice in the first 2 to 3 weeks after a Capricorn new moon in your sign that you're also going to have new beginnings in friendship circles, profitability, windfalls, career gains, and your long goals and dreams and plans for your life. Ruled by Saturn, and you are the one making these decisions because you have authentic wisdom and sage-like knowledge about how to proceed. You're operating like a sage or a Yoda at this time. All right, now, as the sun moves into here, into Aquarius, where it will be for 1 whole month, so we're going to see January 20th add 30 days, you're kind of really like lighting up the midnight, the quiet time. Like you have a lantern in your solitude. So you might be really focused a lot on your health because the sun rules the house of sickness. But at the same time, this could indicate somebody sick in the hospital that you know, the types of people that could be a father figure, a father figure, an aunt, uncle, cousin, niece, nephew, or sibling, a sibling 3 younger or 3 older than you in general. So this may have nothing to do with your life. This may be somebody in a hospital setting, and you're having to be very preoccupied with that. My phone scared me. Oh my goodness, that is so funny, eh? And finally, when this is all happening, if you're not in a hospital or isolation chamber or something, you are going to want to be in a downtime energy, alone, contemplative. We're talking about January 20th, literally at a month. So at the end of the month, you're really wanting to go inward and be alone, maybe pursue some spiritual awakening. You might even want to travel to be alone because this is Mars, the god of travel, in the house of distant shores. Yet, even as I say, you might travel to be alone because maybe you got some new chunky money over here. And that's very feasible, by the way, to travel to be alone. You might also travel in connection with family, connected to siblings, aunts, uncles, cousins, or just plain old friends. Alrighty. But there is some travel indicated potentially, and Mars will open up travel for you to distant places and lands on January 23rd through to March. Yes, the 2nd. So no rush. That travel opportunity energy sticks with you for quite a while. I think I might have forgot this one for the Aquarians, and I do apologize, but here we go. As we continue forward, Mars will co-join this. This is a little bit on the brutal side, but I forgot to talk about the Cazimi on the 21st. So Mercury will join the sun on the 21st. This is a cosmic reset button. This is going to allow for a very positive day in which matters to do with distant lands, foreign people, foreign shores, commercial and revenue from foreign companies, foreign places, and foreign businesses are all happening in an auspicious way on January 21st. It's a good day for you to also activate these things. And this could also be an activation of if you're going to work for something connected to foreign lands and shores or people, you might want to say this is a good day to sign the contract or apply for the job. Okay. On January 21st, it's a lucky energy. But then we're going to notice that Mars is joining the fray, as I already said, and that's where you can travel, all the way through to March 2nd from January 23rd. But Mars is building up a conjunction to Pluto. Sorry, I might have forgotten that for Aquarians, but oh well. And this is going to be a kind of a power, unstoppable drive, ambition, or will, okay? And you may not be able to understand the nature of it because it's very subtle, hidden house. It might be an unstoppable drive and ambition to work through your ancestral and karmic challenges and really dive under the surface with a shovel and dig it all up. And this is going to be true from January 23rd till the end of the month as Mars and Neptune and Pluto are hanging out there together. Quite possibly the translation could also be transformative, game-changing, spiritual awakening coming through gurus, teachers, foreign lands, foreign shores, distant shore travel. Another way of this is Mars is ending and cutting and Pluto is death. And if someone is still sick in the hospital and you've been hoping they were going to pull through, and again, father figures, siblings, cousins, aunts, and uncles, these are the type of people here, then this could look like it looks like when Mars enters here January 23rd to the end of the month, that's where things could go a little bit the other way, right? Unfortunately, same whole scenario could apply to a pet, FYI. I didn't actually say spouse. I forgot to say that. I apologize. So I don't want to scare anybody, but let's say your spouse is having health challenges. And I mean spouse, I mean committed long-term cohabitational relationship. Okay. I don't mean you're dating somebody. You will be living with them or married to them for this to be true for you. And they're having this hospital challenge, and it's nothing to do with you. Very, very little, very seldom do transit through the 12th house mean you are in a hospital. All right. Especially because Jupiter is protecting you in a trine right now. All right. And finally, to finish it up, seems like I'm going on forever. Whatever that confusion was around New Year's Eve, and the day after, where you had some uncertain information from the 10th house of father figures in career and people of authority and maybe a job offer that was confusing, hopefully it clears up here on January 22nd when Mars clears the fog of some uncertainty that you first had to deal with back on January 1st. So there's a kind of shifting towards more clarity and certainty, especially if it involves career-related matters. And finally, good news, Mercury and Venus co-joining, you'll start to say, oh, wow, here comes some good news. Okay, so if someone is in the hospital, maybe it's not so bad. So around here, January the 27th. So January 27th, 2 days before and after, some good news is coming to you from a foreign place, a foreign shore, a foreign person. It could be money related in terms of career gains. It could be good news coming about people in hospitals, including pet situations and health. It could be good news regarding chunks of money, inheritances, land, property, real estate, and legacy wealth. And it could be good news to do with travel. And it could be good news to do with, well, those are the themes I'm seeing here. Your spouse, if your spouse was ill, things could turn around and now you're looking at sort of a happier outcome. So the January 27th, 2 or 3 days before and after. Don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss a thing. And everything about me is in my description box below. Please check it out. I'd love to see you on my channel as a subscriber, and check the join button to join my YouTube community where I do live streams and more. And in my Substack and Pluto Chronicles, I write about world events without being unplugged. They've got I unplug over there. They got really strict over here at YouTube now. They've got all these new, is it a sensitive topic? What isn't a sensitive topic? And they'll demonetize me, and every other channel. They just added new, really rigid rules. So check me out on the other platforms as well, and like and subscribe. My world astrology here is very lightweight to avoid being demonetized. It's much more in depth at the Pluto Chronicles, and it's free. And that's my newsletter, and it goes to your inbox. All right, check me out over there. I got about 7,000 subscribers, or almost 8. Why don't you join the fray? Take care, guys. Bye-bye.